First round on the play. We are in the single elimination queue, just to let you guys know. That's the competitive queues online. So it is winner takes all. We are mulliganing to 5. Okay, this is a fine 5. I think we're keeping the 5 drop, hoping this dies, hitting another land, and then riding the flyer to victory. Ew. Though Skullduggery is very good against this card. If we draw either of our rares as well, this will be still pretty close, considering we went to 5. Don't think I want to pull the trigger on that trading a Skullduggery for this quite yet. Probably have to be a million into 5. We probably have to be a little bit more selective with our cards. Also, if we hit a fort land, we could have considered it a bit more. I'm more likely to do it on my turn, because then if they have like a Vanquish of the Week or something on the way back. I think I'll do it now. I think I'll kill that. 1 mana to kill their emissary, even though they might get to be up a card here anyway. You would need to do it with the trigger on stack, because you can't trust them hitting a spell. So they would have another Heartstopper. So you seem to be white-black value. Okay. So now obviously we wish a little bit I traded, but then we would have also turned off our Skullduggery and this would have survived. This is trade 2. And we have plays for days. Opponent has 3 cards left. I have 3 cards left. The board's at pretty much parity. If they trade, we can just pass and have this Windstrider up. If they don't trade, we get to play this Interloper, which is pretty good against skittering Heartstoppers. Okay, we can pass. We're obviously not going to ambush this guy. That's a terrible idea unless opponent irresponsibly taps out before combat. Keeping 5 mana open, so that could be a Dark Nourishment. Or it could be a couple things. Though, if it's Nourishment, they let me on top of the Skullduggery, which is nice. Okay, let's go Interloper. It's not a bad card to keep. It puts us up a card, and maybe lets us scry again if this is about to die. We're slightly ahead on board here. Ooh, wow. That's advantage to us, I think. We can also just... Oh, we can't jump this. Huh. What do I want to do here? I can attack with boat and trade these off. Yeah, I think I like that, especially since we're both at 10 now. They could have their own Skullduggery on the way back, but then I can save it with a ruse. No, sir. They can also just take it and swing for 5. I'm going to tell my opponent that has menace. So I give this +1/+1, give this -1/-1. Because no matter what, we're going to be trading. I can't save this creature. And if they have a trick on the way back, I'm just going to Siren's Ruse it, so... And now we have a Siren's Ruse up to protect our Windstrider. If we hit a 5th land, we get to play Prosperous Pirates and have a Siren's Ruse up. Order is that one, okay. have to put that in the bin. You gotta deal with my flyer. So I think their own Dire Fleet Ravager might have helped me win this game. I'm never sure what to think of this card. Ooh, that's excellent. I don't know if we play it. Yeah, no, they're both lethal. Because it drains, they're both lethal. I think we play it. They'd have to come up with an answer for both of them. Seeing as they took 3 there, they definitely don't have an answer to one of them. So, and then this way, if they just play a big flying blocker, I actually have a win. Yeah, that's fine. Good 8. Market of Vampire is definitely a way my opponent could have won that game. But then if we hit a 5th land, we could play this and then blink it when we block, so we could win the race. Ooh, this is a lot of mana. What was that? That was the Gain X card. That gets put to the bottom of your deck. That's really funny. I haven't seen that card yet. Okay, but we have a nice blocker. We hit our land. It never shows up because I F6, so it just goes straight to the bottom of their deck. But it's white X, I think. Gain X life. Opponent has certainly flooded out a little bit in this game. 8 lands is a lot of lands in this format. Yeah, sure. Let's try and win. I did it on that flyer because if I felt like Sirens were losing, if they had a removal spell, they at least get drained on the way back, and I still get to attack for 3, which sets up lethal for next turn. Yeah, getting to escape a mulligan to 5 with a very good hand. Can't ask for much more, and I don't think there's much we sideboard in here. Against very aggressive decks, we can bring in the Sailor of Means, so we can block well on the ground and try and fly over. But we'll see. Opponent's deck didn't seem super aggressive, though they did have 2 Emissary of the Sun. So is it Emissary of the Sun the 2/1 that explores? I'm not sure of its name. So maybe Sailor is better than maybe this Deadeye Tormentor. But I don't know. It didn't seem to be. If they come out the gate really fast, maybe we can change. So I've said it a couple times in the video already, but I'll say it again. Format very aggressive. You can see cards like Mark of the Vampire being excellent, and when those cards are excellent, you know the format's a bit different to your average format. For a quick example, one of the cards I love in this deck is I can't remember the card's name. The 4/3 for 2 mana that makes 2 treasures for your opponent when it dies. I remember when the format, when all the cards were spoiled, people were going, "This card's insane." I'm like, I think it's pretty bad. Blah blah blah. For constructed, at least, I was like, it's extremely bad. And then someone said, limited, it's probably broken. And I disagreed again. But I think I was quoted saying, if any kind of normal format that isn't hyper aggressive, this card is garbage. But this format's hyper aggressive, and you definitely want a 4/3 that can put a Cutlass on and swing for 6 on turn 3, and has a pretty tough time dying if it's like that. But I'm taking a long time for the sideboarding. Sorry for a little bit of downtime here, guys. Hand is pretty great. If we hit a land, we have a pretty good curve. 2-drop into a flyer into possible 4-drop. 1-2 by my opponent as well. Ooh, that's a bit of an upgrade to my lookout. Means also on turn 4 I could play lookout, loot, and have a dispersal up, which is nice. Though I'll probably just make another menace pirate if that's the case. Ooh, both get in. Okay. Oh, Vanquish. I think I've had this card the second time I've had this card in the deck, and I have never got to make a menace pirate off of it. Sadly, this might have to go to the graveyard. Fort land just means a lot here. And I wouldn't even play this next turn. Like, I would play the Bloodletter. If I hit a land, I would play the Looter and keep up Dispersal. 5 lands, I'd keep up the Strider. So, as tempting as it is, I just don't think I'm going to play that card anytime soon. So opponent can't really attack with the Legion. They can definitely get in for free with the Heartstopper though. I hate bugs. Pictures like this gross me out a little bit. Ugh. Mark. Okay, they were considering what card to mark. They decided to mark the Death Toucher, so I can't get a profitable double block off ever. I can attack. They might respect the Skullduggery, and then I can get the Looter into play and hopefully hit a land off of it. I think I block if I'm my opponent there. It depends on their hand, I guess. It's hard just to say that for sure. We can get rid of the Wind Strider, just getting rid of the most expensive card in our hand here. Castaways also would have been fine, but I'm thinking that if I draw... I'm thinking that I could just play Castaways next turn. Keep up a Skullduggery, and that way I can try and kill this Heartstopper. I guess opponent doesn't have to block, they're gaining 3 a turn. So maybe it's just irrelevant to block there. Okay, nice. So now I can keep up Mana Leak or the Lookout, and I can get the double block off on the Heartstopper, and it's just a 2 for 2. As well, if they have some kind of trick, I have Skullduggery on the way back, so if they like Skullduggery this, I can choose just to kill that and give this +1/+1. Yeah, let's get this double block off. And our hand is still pretty great. If this just resolves and they try and resolve a good creature, we have the Mana Leak for it. Slash Talons. Well, it's more than a Mana Leak, it's pay 4, which is pretty important here. Double Slash Talons, wow. Okay, well that's a blowout. No ifs or buts about that one, that's a bit of a blowout. We have another double block here. Not one I like, but I could single block and just trade. Yeah, I can try and trade the Skullduggery. Either way, it's a 2 for 1, but I think I'd rather keep the 2/3 flyer. Yeah, it's basically holding off the board. So I would Skullduggery +1/-. Yeah, I think this is good. Our last card would have to be another combat trick. And they could forget to give it that touch, I guess. Unlikely, but now we're at parity on board. And I have a decent hand. Any island is a good draw. It's always nice. Okay, not exactly parity anymore. Not bad. They're on 26. They have a very long time for this to do anything. It's funny, they're mythic, they're average, they're 5. There's way more damage to them again. Ooh. Okay, they miss, which is important. They've hit another land, so they're 2 away from activating this. Yeek. Okay. Not looking great. I think I have to attack. This guy can't block ground creatures anyway, so he should just be getting in every turn. But opponent has a long time to get to this, so if I don't find a Skullduggery first, we're in trouble. Man, they hit a land off this. Seeker Squire. Might as well keep that on top. Oof. Opponent drawing gas and I'm drawing lands. It's gonna be a tough one. My own Mark of the Vampire would likely win the game. Vampire? What was that word that came out of my mouth? Wow, aggressive. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 7, 8. So I guess I have to do it like this. Take 8. All my guys survive. I kill 3 of your guys. I have to draw probably another blocker or Mark of the Vampire. Try to win over 2 turns here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to my 4, 5 blockers. So we're dead. Opponent gave me no more time to draw Mark of the Vampire because they were in trouble. Though this card was probably, I don't know if opponent has to stat. This card was probably going to win them the game. Man, if I draw Mark of the Vampire to put on that guy, that would have been so funny. To shreds. Anything we can do here? I don't think so. I think that game just displayed the power of Mark of the Vampire. Even though I was eventually able to deal with the creature, it just wasn't good enough. Wasn't fast enough. Ooh, Dark Nourishment would have also been a complete blowout in that scenario. Built my rares. Deal. Couple lands here, and this hand is like a constructed deck I put together at the start of this format. Spoilers, that deck was not great, but it does seem pretty good here. A second blue is pretty important there, so pretty happy with that. We have to decide whether on turn 2 we just want to hold up the lookout. Walk the plank. That's not a removal spell I've seen from them before, but an effective one. I was about to say, if we hold up this, we can get around Vanquish. I wonder if their deck has a Chupacabra in it. Well, we got our plan for this game. We're just going to do this and put a Mark of the Vampire on it. We haven't seen a contract killing out of our opponent yet. I think I just want to look at that. I could have also just tapped it. Or just run around it. I feel I kind of want to tap out for this card now that I don't have the mana leak up. Put that in the graveyard. Because now we can do a little bit of a racing situation where we have two cards that completely throw off the mat. Maybe that's greedy though, or just unnecessary. So now I can just tap these both, get in for 3 menace. I can use this card a little bit more proactively. Also, this way, kind of using it proactively like I am now, if opponent has a removal spell, they might just run it out on the Dreamcaller. The downside to the line I did was now they might be able to hold up Vanquish for the rest of the game. Or they could just Vanquish the Dreamcaller now and I lose my chance of ever putting contract killing though. This is the upside to my play. Because now they felt like they needed to use a contract killing on my flyer to force through damage here. Or just attack at all here. Oh, I think this is the line. But we can get blown out by a Skullduggery, or we could have got blown out by a Vanquish, but they haven't shown us a Skullduggery yet. And now they don't have a block. They have Slash of Talons though. They've shown us 2 Slash of Talons, but that's a 2 for 2. That's not the worst. I could have waited. I could have just not attacked that turn. Maybe that's just better and we don't lose the Slash of Talons that way. Maybe that's too aggressive of a line. And all my good cards out of my deck now. My opponent not in a fantastic position either. Yeah, I don't have many powerful cards left in my deck. I've used them all. Ugh. Yeah, I think that's my play is wrong. We knew opponent had multiple Slash of Talons in their deck. We could have just waited to run around, but then we eventually get Mark of the Vampire. We could have just waited for a better target. That is aggressive again. No, I don't want to save it. I could have saved it with a run around. I don't think I want to do that. So now I'm just going to take some hits from these lifelinkers, I guess. Four cards in my opponent's hand. This isn't feeling great. On 22, I need to draw some of my flyers. Let's just kill this off. Okay. Not great. Again, opponent with infinite cards in their hand. I wonder if they're just also drawing lands. Feeling they have a Vanquish, but we'll keep that for sure. Save our guy from possible removal, possibly twice, because we can just put our guy on top of our own deck. It's card disadvantage, but seems fine to me. Opponent's flooded out. There's no way. There's nearly no way it's just lands in my opponent's hand at this stage. I'm not sure what else could be in my opponent's hand. He's played nothing for turns. Ten lands now. Okay. Nice. Another one. So this just came down to a top deck war and I drew a lot better than my opponent. I'm not sure if I like my play, but looking back on it, the Mark of the Vampire play, if I use a run around his guy, he just draws it again next turn, and what's that? I can wait to the end of turn, run around this guy, put it on top, Mark of the Vampire attack, and then they just replay the guy, and I'm in the same situation. I think... Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I thought I was still in combat. I meant to go to second main. I think that is probably the best I'm going to get out of that situation. I just have to hope it's good enough, or I have to be very patient with my mark. Okay, we'll use a walk the plank on a mediocre creature to push through damage. Cascading Lookouts, sure. Man, I love Legion's Landing. It's one of my favourite cards in Standard at the moment. Trips Lookout. Still 2 interaction spells in our hand. It also just specifically looks like the ruse is targeting these guys with their weird phantom wings. Opponent with 12 lands, and I assume 2 more in hand. At least. Are they going to bond themselves? Are they gain 10? Oh, more. Sorry, they gained 20. Could have used their treasures as well. Might as well. So this is a game. They gained a lot of life. I don't think that card is, in general, very good, but... So I could run around that. So they have to keep it on top, but I think I'm fine. I'm an 18, so I can just take a few hits from this. Could also use a ruse to kill that if I wanted, but that feels like a waste of ruse. Maybe I'll do it next turn to keep them off the possibility of 3 creatures, but run around does that already. Can just never have this flip or I'm in trouble. Do I have 2 removal spells? That way they're doing this? Because they know Ruse is in my hand. I'll keep that. They've seen that card a while ago, so I'm not too sure why they would do that pre-combat. I guess because they forced me to do it. If they know I have it, they can't really get into combat there. So it's okay my opponent goes to 10. It's not okay if they go to 11. That's just not okay. Kill this. Then I can kill this next combat. Okay. So that's one of the cards that was starting in their hand all game. That's interesting. Obviously, Mark of the Vampire is just very hard for them to deal with. That's annoying, actually. That comes into play. I want to bounce one of these because I don't want them flipping the landing. And this will stop them from dying for a turn. They're going to go to 5. And then they can block here. Got a 1. They can never deck, which is kind of funny. The bond is funny in that they just can never deck. Okay, so they're dead if they make the incorrect block. So we should attack first before playing this. If they want their guy to survive, which I think they probably do. Because they could stick a Mark of the Vampire on it if they drew it. They got a 1. And we draw the out. Okay, some close games there. On to the second round.